Hello everyone, and welcome to Adaptations Across Countries. What is evil? We come to think of evil as monstrous, terrifying, destructive for the sake of amusement. And when in regard to people, it's said by some that good and evil lies in the hearts of every person. And power can bring about the greatest evil in people. Just like Light Yagami and the Death Note. Yeah, we're gonna cover Death Note in its most recent incarnation from Netflix. I wasn't going to for a while, so I could let it sit and I could let it be more well thought out. But one scene really made me want to dive in as soon as possible. Now I know about the whitewashing and people's opinions on the subject of nationality and Light's actor, but that's not what this video series is about. We want to look at the story and decisions made regarding narrative differences. With that in mind, let's go into the story. Light Yagami is a high school kid in the top of his class. One day he comes across a death note which says any name written inside will die within 40 seconds. He tests it out on a whim and is disturbed by what he's done, until he realizes what he could do with that much power.
This is exactly what I've been thinking about lately. This world is rotting, and those who are making it rot deserve to die.
He declares he will rule over the world and make it a just place. Now, let's talk versions. Death Note has been adapted various times. Anime series, live movie, live TV series, and of course the original manga it stems from. For a comparison, we're going to look at the TV series, since it was the most recent from Japan and shares similar elements to the Netflix movie. In the beginning of each show, we see that Light gains the Death Note, but only uses the Death Note under duress. On Netflix, Ryuk goads Light into killing a school bully. Likewise, in the TV series, Light Yagami is being extorted by a former high school bully and, in an act of desperation, writes his name down to protect him and his friend. While the Light of the manga would not do this, because he'd be too afraid of being connected to it, this still is different enough to warrant analysis. Turner is literally goaded by the devil. He has signed away his soul to a demon for power, just like in the tale of Dr. Faustus. In the TV series, Yagami is scouted by Ryuk to use the Death Note and is left to his own devices to see what happens. When Ryuk does show himself, he also goads Light, but more like guilt trips him into keeping it, saying there are worse people who could be using it. Yagami's use of the Death Note is one of desperation, revealing more of his human nature. This could also be related to the Shinto belief of how people are a product of their environment as well as their decisions. However, their motivations to continue using the Death Note are similar, as Turner uses the Death Note to take some sweet revenge for the death of his mother, and Yagami uses it to save his father from being held hostage. This is a drive of familial love, and would be the instigation to what continues to drive both Lights. Again though, not what Light from the manga would do. It's fascinating to see that both shows have changed Light into such a flawed character. He winds up making various mistakes and is outsmarted by most people around him, especially when taking on L. In the case of Netflix, L is more antsy, fidgety, and very surprisingly sentimental, but the J-drama makes L confident to the point of completely cocky, rather than the quirky, analytical, and blunt character from the manga. So why this change? In Japan, suave, confident characters are common, though a bit over the top. That confidence can make them attractive for a certain demographic. In America, this L is intelligent but not perfect. He proves his point, but at a great expense and risk, like when he held a press conference, or confronted Light in the cafe. And this is where the meat of the story should be. The back and forth between these two characters is the greatest tension of the original manga. However, Netflix seems to play down the rivalry for an unlikely opponent. Mia has to be the most different character from any version of Death Note out there. Misa Amane is a devoted Kira/Light worshipper, who even said she doesn't care if she's used as a tool for Light. However, Mia from Netflix is practically the mastermind, and more of a Kira than Light Turner is. She deceives, plans, and is ruthless against anyone that would stand in her way. Which brings us to the biggest difference in these two, the power struggle. This struggle to keep the power of the Death Note is the driving tension of the movie, which for some people has been a difficult part to enjoy. In the original, Light just gains more power from Misa and her own Death Note. By creating this power struggle element to the story, it changes the dynamic of the story into a trinamic, which my autocorrect has informed me is not a word. L thinks Light is Kira, and now Light has to fight off both L and Misa in a bid to save his own life, to which, honestly, is kind of an exciting part of the movie, and so is this power struggle. This sense of control is reminiscent of certain movies like Chronicle, Primer, and a little bit of Game of Thrones. Since the director is known for a horror movie background, it is most likely that this direction was taken so that there could be more of a murderous suspense rather than the cat and mouse dynamic of the original, as evidence of the gruesome visuals. And I like it for that. It's still interesting and has its own merits, for which it created a fun double cross and a thrilling chase. However, this is especially why I bring up the TV drama, as both have many flaws. Like, why is Mia smoking during cheerleading? I'm pretty sure you get expelled for that. You thought Turner screaming like a baby was funny? How about when Yagami runs like a cartoon character up an entire skyscraper's flight of stairs when he first meets Ryuk? There's way more evidence now to convict Yagami than ever before, and L still can't prove it's him. Why did Watari use his real name in the movie? And why does he only have one name? Why is the TV drama so bright and comedic and lighthearted about mass murder? Why was there this distrust of Ryuk in the movie? It went nowhere except to give us some red herring for Mia when it was obviously her who killed those FBI agents. Did there really have to be this naked locker room scene in the drama between L and Light? If L had been listening to the Ray Penber character in the drama, that should have proven Light was Kira. And we get it! Shinigami love apples without either of you shoving it in our faces! Have you ever thought of having them try an orange for once? Jeez! Sorry, went off into a bit of a tangent there, but my point is, inaccuracies and flaws are common on both sides of the coin. While the TV drama may be closer to the original, it still took its own liberties for the format, as did the Netflix movie. And while the Netflix movie will never be the sociological argument of what is the nature of good and evil like the original was, it still has some fun and interesting merits of its own that the series never went down. It's not perfect, but it's not bad either, but that's just me. But what do I know? I'm the kind of guy that likes the Mega Man cartoon. That's not a bad idea. I'll see you guys next time. Hey guys, thanks again for watching the show. This was a kind of difficult one to record because the cat won't shut up. She has just been meowing the entire time I was recording, and it's been crazy. We've been trying to get this one up as fast as possible, so hopefully you guys enjoy the discussion that we brought to the table as far as how I feel about the Death Note movie, and, you know, like I said, it's not accurate, but I don't think it's that bad. I don't know. There's a lot of other things I kind of feel that way about, and maybe we'll make more episodes about it. But, feel free to check out our other episodes in the meantime, and, yeah, hope you enjoy those ones too. Ciao.